Hi guys. Suppose we want to visit all the capitals in Europe. So we want to visit Reykjavik and Brussels and Moscow and all of the others in between. And we want to do this in the shortest routes possible, of course. Because if we would do a route something like this, then we would have to do a distance of over 690,000. And this is just nuts, of course. You're not going to fly to Moscow just to get back to Amsterdam and just to go to Minsk somewhat later. You want to do something like this, right? So this is a tour of all those capitals, and it's a pretty good solution already, because we now have to do a distance of about 254,000. But the question is, isn't there anything shorter to do that? And the problem is that unlike finding the fastest route between two cities, say from Brussels to Rome, there isn't really an optimal algorithm for this, which can do that in which can find an optimal solution in feasible time, independent of the solution size and the number of constraints, really. So that's why the rules planner helps you find a good solution, and it actually has several algorithms which can do that for you, and you can basically play with all of them and see which one fits best for your solution size, as well as your solution constraints. So let's take a look. So let's start from an empty solution. Let's let planner solve this. As you can see, it finds the constriction solution pretty fast, but it's actually improving upon that with meta heuristics. And as we give it more time, you can see that the distance to travel to visit all the cities actually lessens. So that's fuel we save, and which is also the environment that we save, of course, because we lower our ecological footprint. Now, given it enough time, given some time, a couple of seconds, we're already at 215,000, which is a lot less than 250,000. And it's actually not going to get any better than this. So let's stop it. Now, the thing is, of course, that the reality changes. Of course, the thing is, of course, that the reality changes. So, for example, while we're solving, it could be that we decide to visit a couple of other cities too. So let's say we want to go get a tan in Marseille, which is about there. So if you click on there, it's just going to add it real time. So let's say we want to do Barcelona too, no problem. And as you can see, the rules planner actually picks that up and adds it to the route without a problem. Let's go to Edinburgh too. My hometown Ghent, right here. And of course Brno, which is also a big city for Red Hat, and here we go, no problem. So this is the quickest tour to visit all the capitals and those few extra cities I've been thinking about. So let's stop that and let's start again, and let's suppose the rules change. Let's suppose we don't want to find the shortest route to visit all these cities, but we want to find the shortest route given the fact that we have a free ticket from anywhere in Europe to fly to Reykjavik. So it doesn't matter where we come from. We can come from Athens or Kiev, and the flight to Reykjavik is free. And it also, there's no environmental, let's suppose there's no environmental impact either. So let's go to our programming, our code, and what we have is, here we have the Pojo for the city. So a city has a certain latitude and longitude and a certain name. For example, Brussels or Reykjavik is the name. And then we have an appearance. So an appearance is a place where the salesman appears. So a city where he appears. So there are two forms of the appearance. This is basically the domicile. That's the place where the salesman actually lives, and the visit, that's the place where the salesman visits. So if you look at our map right here, we can see that Brussels is a domicile, it's in red, and all the other places are just visits for the salesman. Now if you look back at the visits, you'll see that that doesn't only have a city, but it also has a previous appearance. So that's a link to the appearance coming before it, and that's the thing that we want the rules planner to change to find the best order in which to visit them, of course. Now, if you look at the rules, which basically there are two rules, and the first rule is basically every time we visit a city, we're going to have to pay the distance to travel to that visit, really. So that's pretty obvious. For each visit that we do, we have to get a plane there, and then the second thing is the second rule is from the last visit, so from the visit which has no visit after it, we have to fly back home, of course. The salesman has to go home again, so back to its domicile. So and then we're going to add that distance too, of course. Now let's suppose that we can fly from anywhere in the world to from anywhere in Europe to Reykjavik for free. So we don't want to pay. So we don't need to pay that distance if we're going to Reykjavik. So if the city we're visiting is different from Reykjavik, then we have to pay it. Otherwise, we don't have to pay it. So let's see what that what's the result of that. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to start the example again. I'm going to start it again, and we're going to start solving it. Now, the first thing that you can notice here is because we changed the rules of the game, that is giving us a different solution, and it's quite clear what's happening here. As you can see, there's a trip from Moscow to Reykjavik, and that's the trip he doesn't have to pay. The trip we don't have to pay. So he's going to, and apparently, Tools Planner found out that if we just take that from Moscow to Reykjavik, then that's probably the best, the optimal solution. Now we can give it more time. Maybe it decides to change it to Nicosia or Istanbul or something. But given these cities that he needs to visit, he apparently decided that it's far better to go to Reykjavik. And let's see if we can add a couple of cities to make him change his mind, like this, right? Here you go. Now it's going to Nicosia. So because of course we need to visit these cities too, and then it's more interesting to take it from Nicosia. So that's Rules Planner. Now if you want to have more information, learn more about that, well, just go to the website. It's on jbus.org, of course, and it's Java open source and under the Apache license. Thanks for watching.